Hello and good afternoon. My name is Sabrina Mannion. I'm joined here today by Cleo Washington. We're coming to you live from the Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Cleo, how are you doing today?
Doing well. Enjoyed watching Michigan football get a victory yesterday. A little bit rainy today, but hopefully the mood is rising with this Michigan volleyball game coming up now against Notre Dame.
Yes, very exciting. The back end of a home and home series. You want to walk us through that last game that was on Friday in South Bend, Indiana?
Yes, absolutely. Michigan on Friday won its straight sets against Notre Dame. Initially struggled a little bit. Notre Dame was up 6-3 in the early set. However, Michigan came back and was able to win the set by 3 points, 25-22. In the second set, it was getting back and forth. Michigan, though, went on a 6-2 run and then went on a later 5-0 run and was able to win that set again with a score 25-22. And for the last set, they won by an 8-point margin, 25-17. Of course, with the returning Big Ten first team player Allison Jacobs and Ella Dimitrish as well, both recorded double-digit kills during that game. And Michigan will see if they can repeat that success today here in Ann Arbor.
Wow, a very exciting game. I can't believe U of M went on an 8-1 run. Let's see if they can repeat that performance. All right, let's listen in as we hear some of our players. All right, Cleo, which players are you going to keep a special eye out for today on this Wolverine squad?
Absolutely. Well, first, we're going to look at the Wolverine squad. Michigan has 3 players currently in the top 5 in sports hitting percentage. That'd be Sabrina Nyambio, Lydia Johnson, and Jenna Haynes. Nyambio right now is currently leading the Big Ten in hitting percentage, hitting .474% with 63 kills. Johnson is out second in the conference, and Haynes is fourth. So definitely looking at that trio and making big plays early on for the Wolverines.
Yes, exactly. Head coach Aaron Virtue has talked a lot about these veteran players really stepping up this season, and I'm sure the Wolverines are glad that they're able to showcase them in this match and as they look towards conference play. Now, any initial thoughts about this Notre Dame Fighting Irish team today?
Yeah, absolutely. Notre Dame, also solid squad coming in here with a 3-3 record, but they won 2 games in a row against Colorado State and East Texas A&M. You look at their team, Morgan Gierty early on has been one of the stars, all preseason selection for the ACC, broke the school record for kills in match last Friday against Illinois with 34, so she's certainly a player that Michigan has to be on the lookout for.
Yes, I think you are exactly right. And I'm not sure if you mentioned number 18, Morgan Gayatri, the outside hitter, 6'5", and only a sophomore. She was named to the 2025 preseason All-ACC volleyball team, and we'll see if she's going to use that height for the Fighting Irish here today. Nice crowd that we're getting in Chrysler Arena. Glad people are making it out on the rainy day. As they highlight Sabrina Nyambio, definitely deserves that praise. She led the team in blocks per set last season. And currently, I mean, how's she been doing this season so far? Sorry, some technical difficulties here.
Now, the starting lineups are being introduced in Michigan right now. The starting lineup, Notre Dame, already on the other side. Crowd is now starting to get energetic here at Chrysler, throwing some t-shirts into the crowd, and we're getting ready for some volleyball.
A very exciting match tonight. Now, the Wolverines swept the Fighting Irish in 3 sets last Friday. Obviously hoping to continue that momentum and looking towards the rest of the season. This is a very important match. This is the last game before their conference opener. And head coach Aaron Virtue says that, you know, all of the teams in the Big Ten are challenging. That's why they love this conference. So why is it important that the Wolverines start off today on a really great foot?
Yeah, it's really important. Michigan does get one final game, becoming this 9-1 ahead of conference play, but especially considering the next one is Nebraska, one of the best teams, not the best team currently in college volleyball. So certainly they need the experience and reps with their players before Big Ten play dominates the rest of the season into November.
Yes, I think it's important today for the Wolverines to be establishing that identity. You know, who they are on offense and defense is going to mean a lot, especially against a strong Nebraska team later this season.
Absolutely.
And that Nebraska game is at Nebraska, so Nebraska's going to have a killer home field advantage, but the Wolverines, I'm sure, are preparing for that as well. They know how to handle the pressure. All right, and we are ready to begin set 1 of today. Serving from the Fighting Irish, over. It's out. Oh, but I believe there was a hit from, there was a touch by a Fighting Irish player there, and Michigan with the first point of this game. Michigan, number 9, Ella Demetrician serving.
Nyambo involved there. 2-0 lead early for Michigan.
It's up to the Notre Dame and blocked successfully by a wonderful 2-player campaign from the Wolverines there. Lydia Johnson and Sabrina Nyambio.
See
Wonderful
right there,
block.
Nyambio and Johnson standing next to each other.
A serve from Demetrician. Doesn't make it over the net. Unfortunate for the Wolverines, but they lead 3-1 in this challenge so far. Now, serving for Notre Dame. It's up. Over to the libero for the Wolverines. Not made spike attempt by Nyambio. Rare, but blocked successfully by that Nyambio Demetrician combo again, and a wonderful spike there for the Wolverines, giving them yet another point. They lead 4-1 early, and we've got to credit number not.
You see Demetrician right there, the power coming up the middle of the court, able to get the ace straight through for a kill.
Yes, a serve over from the Wolverines. Blocked at the net. Right across the attack line. And too far for the Fighting Irish. Just out of the line there.
See Michigan's presence right there early on in the net, really forcing Notre Dame to take some of these shots out of bounds. Just fortunate so far for the Wolverines.
Another serve that barely makes it over the net for the Wolverines, but some nice blocking back and forth. Just slips off the fingers of Maddie Cochran, the Wolverines libero.
See Haynes got involved early there at the net.
Notre Dame now with 2 to Michigan's 5. It's up from the Fighting Irish to 9. And a spike attempt from Jacobs for the Wolverines. Back over. The Wolverines setting it up. Number 7 hits it over to Jacobs again. Oh, it's just right on that midline. I'm sure the players are trying to tell whether it's going to go over, but that was really close.
Absolutely. You see Jacobs, all conference last year. You certainly could see why he plays like that.
Ellie White, the sophomore setter from Illinois, now takes the serving position for the Wolverines, hoping to get their 7th point of this game. The ball is up and not over the net. White with an unfortunate error there. Now the Fighting Irish subbing out some players. And it looks like it's going to be number 5, Dockery serving for the Fighting Irish. Oh, my mistake, sorry. Number 23, Maya Baker. Up to the Wolverines. Barely over the net. Jacobs saves it, though. Jacobs blocked by a very tall combo from the Fighting Irish.
See Notre Dame starting to move now on one side, trying to center, get the attack on Michigan, see how they respond. Any adjustments, as Notre Dame is now shortened their deficit to 2. Notre Dame's serve unreturned on that play. And now it's only a 1-point deficit. Notre Dame starting the game 1 minute to see how Michigan responds.
The ball is up from the Fighting Irish over the net. Number 6, number 2, Jacobs hits it back. Oh, and a spike from the Fighting Irish that goes far out the left side. Another point for Michigan. They lead 7-5 with 1:30 on the clock. It's going to be number 2, Allison Jacobs, the 6th year for the Wolverines. Serving. Up and out the back of the end line. 7-6, Wolverines. Number 18, Gayatri for the Fighting Irish serving. It's to Jacobs. It's up and a spike by Demetrician that finds a Fighting Irish player, but who was unable to return it.
Again, Demetrician getting to her side, able to jump over everyone and get the kill.
Jenna Haynes now serving for the Wolverines. Up over the net with a dive. Oh, and a spike very early from Chichi Nyanji.
See how Michigan responds. We're leading by several points earlier. Now we're much more of a dogfight. Let's see how they manage to get out of this.
Fighting Irish are definitely crawling back as they serve to Michigan one more time. Ooh, a nice tap by Nyambio there. Nyambio, sorry. Demetrician gets it over, but the Fighting Irish return it. Now setting it up for the spike. That is returned. Another spike blocked once again by Nyambio. You can tell why she is leading why she led the team in blocks per set last season.
Absolutely, Nyambio up early, making her presence known. Right there in the center of the court and also on the side as well.
Up and over to the Fighting Irish, who return And now set up from Michigan's libero. But out the not out the side. I believe there was a hit by the Notre Dame player out there. Now Michigan leads 10-7. It is number 7, Morgan Burke, on the serve. Oh, Mason Blue with a nice block. Ooh, a hit attempt from 19. Chichi Nyanji is perfectly placed right in that back corner, and the Mason Blue are unable to return it.
You see early strategy for Notre Dame trying to get the ball away from that strong front area near the court and trying to get into the back. See if Michigan adjusts to protect that side of the court as well.
Yes, those light taps might not be doing them well. Lucy Trump for Notre Dame serves it over. There is a whistle, and Michigan takes an 11-8 lead. Ella Demetrician now serving. Wolverines with some talk, trying to figure out their strategy. Does not make it over the net. Notre Dame with 9. Now serving is Sydney Homers. Ball is up and over. Jacobs sets it up and smacks it, but too far out the back. Where do you see the Wolverines attacking right now?
Absolutely. You see them trying to attack, get away from in the middle of the net. Jacobs right there leading the Big Ten currently in kills. Almost got another one, just slightly off. But she does right there. Does set it.
Yes, hitting the middle of the court there. Lucy Trump with a nice dig attempt, but slightly too late. Unable to save it there. The Wolverines taking a 12-10 lead. Michigan's libero hits it, serves to the other side. It's a set, a spike attempt, blocked by number 5, Lydia Johnson, and number 12, Jenna Haynes for the Maize and Blue. Powerful way to combat the height of the Fighting Irish team. All right, it's a set, fumbling right next to the attack line, but it is returned, and a spike attempt from the Fighting Irish is successful. That was number 31, Anna Bjork. And now serving is Bjork again. It's up and over. Back to Demetrician. A spike attempt from Jacobs is too far. They're trying to get it away from this. They're trying to hit that back corner.
Absolutely. Jacobs now her second error in the last 2 minutes, trying to get the kill. Again, her Big Ten leading kills certainly expect Michigan to give her more opportunities, and she's going to start hitting them in a matter of moments, you would expect.
Block attempt, and a dive from Maddie Cochran. But the Irish hit it out. Success for the Wolverines on that play.
By Cochran, very athletic, able to almost one-handed, falling back, able to save it, and Michigan benefits getting a point to take a two-score lead, 14-12 here.
The Fighting Irish with another spike to the backside. Too far once again. Oh, my mistake. That was actually in. So it is now a 14-13 lead. The Fighting Irish only trailing by 1. Number 23, Maya Baker serving. Over. Set up. Jacobs is trying to save that at the bottom of the net, but too low, and they tie it up.
See how Michigan responds now. First time being tied in this game. Of course, they trailed early on against Notre Dame in the last match on Friday night.
The Wolverines hitting it over. Some tightness at the net, but Notre Dame returns. Now a spike attempt. Another dive from Cochran. Notre Dame with a spike. Just hit out of the hands of a Wolverine there. And now they take their first lead in the set, I believe.
Yes, first lead for Notre Dame this set, and also timeout currently to see how Michigan adjusts, now trailing for the first time this afternoon.
Wow, what an exciting matchup so far. I wonder if their matchup on Friday was this close in the first set. Over there, I saw a game of runs, and I would say right now we're not really getting that. I think there's been a lot of back and forth, so I'm looking to see if either of these teams can get that momentum. What are your thoughts, Cleo?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look back to Friday night. It was a game of runs, as you said, but Michigan in the second and first sets were able to draw away. Michigan went on a 3-0 run, then on an 8-1 run in the first set. In the second set, they went on a 5-0 run after going back and forth on a 6-2 run. So let's certainly see if Michigan is able to conjure up some of those memories from Friday night and go on an inspiring run here.
Yes. And now some trivia on the board. Let's see, audience voting in. Very exciting. What do you think Notre Dame is talking about right now in their team huddle?
And Notre Dame did not have an inspiring start early on. Now they find themselves in the lead, so they're probably talking about keeping momentum. And again, it's trying to attack the center and back side of the court where Michigan, trying to get Cochran on the run again, trying to make her do some of those athletic plays, falling backwards, falling over herself, and certainly trying to get her out of position. That's what my strategy would be if I was Notre Dame.
Yes, exactly. Let's see if they can put it to work. It will be Notre Dame serving.
You see Gordon and Haynes now into Michigan, certainly giving them some size up front.
The ball is up and over. Returned by Cochran. Oh, blocked, actually, by, Demetrician attempted, but Notre Dame seems to have figured that one out.
Very rare to see a Demetrician kill get blocked.
And now Baker serving again. The freshman for the Fighting Irish. It's set up. Jacobs blocked at the net. Up again, but there's a whistle call. Point for Michigan. They now only trail by 1 late here in the first set of this matchup. It's going to be number 2, Jacobs, the 6th-year for the Wolverines serving. It's up and over. Fighting Irish setting it up, but it's off the hands of someone. Returned now by the Wolverines, back to the Irish. Fighting Irish. Cochran setting it up for a spike.
What a start there, Jenna Haynes.
Yes. Jenna Haynes, a sophomore, so formidable here, especially on such a veteran team. It always stands out to me when a young player is able to step up and make big moves on the court like Haynes is doing.
Haynes got the assist from White there and able to fill it straight through the middle. Here's a mistake by the Wolverines and be trailing by 1 yet again.
Jacobs with a serving error. Now it will be number 19. Sorry, my mistake. Number 18, Gayatri for Notre Dame. Serving. Ball is up and over. At the net, a spike.
Haynes
by
yet again, assisted by our teammate. Gets the kill.
And now this matchup is tied up at 17 apiece. Let's see if Haynes, who is now serving, can get a Wolverine lead here. It's up by the Irish, over to the middle, maybe a gap in the coverage there, and the Fighting Irish go up 18 to 17.
See some miscommunication there for Wolverines. Weren't quite sure who was going to go get that. You see Notre Dame players over on the sideline huddling around each other. They certainly have the confidence now to see who will close out this set.
Demetrician returns it. Up in the back corner, saved. What a nice placement there by the Fighting Irish. Oh, and all the way out. They run out the back to save it, return it to the Wolverines. And by their own hands, it goes out the back again and can't be saved. That's another point for Michigan. Wow, this is a very back and forth matchup.
Michigan see the defensive discipline there, even though the ball went past the inline. Notre Dame kept in play. Michigan was able to stay disciplined and get the point, tied at 18. Speaking of discipline right there, Michigan, yet another error on the serve, trailing once again by 1 point.
It'll be number 7, Lucy Trump, serving. The ball is up and over to Cochran. Spiked from Demetrician, and Notre Dame gets their hands on it, but flies past them, and that is another point for the Wolverines.
Demetrician got to her side and was able to get yet another kill. Sophomore from Wisconsin. Showing out so far for the Wolverines.
Demetrician serving out the back. So it'll be number 14, Sydney Helmers, serving, but after this timeout.
Another timeout for Michigan. Some of the same errors they had early on in this match showed themselves there. Strong shots and kills, strong shots in the middle. But yet again, a lot of their serves going out of bounds, keeping Notre Dame in this first set. Let's see how they close it out. Some team will be the first 25. It'll be Notre Dame 20 or Michigan 19.
What a back and forth here. This is a very intense game, and it's going to be important for them to keep that energy up, fight through this set, and you know, one of these teams is going to walk away from the set with an unfortunate loss, and they're going to have to make sure to keep that energy going. You know,
yeah,
I know.
Very competitive early on. If you are Michigan, you have to remind yourselves you just beat this team 2 nights ago in South Bend. Let's see if they can get some of that momentum here in Ann Arbor, even if we don't take this set. So the first 3 is the only thing that matters. So see how Michigan bounces back. If you're Notre Dame, your mindset, you do remember being up 6-3 early in the first set against Michigan for squandering that lead. Let's see how their psyche is impacted as well if they're able to hold on to get their first set over the Wolverines in this college volleyball season.
The Wolverines taking to the court once again. I'm seeing Jacobs, Burke, Nyambio, Demetrician. These names are too familiar in the Fighting Irish's locker room, I'm sure.
Interesting, we don't see Haynes out now in the closing scenario.
Yes, Haynes is not out there. The Wolverines receiving. It's set up and just over the net by Jacobs. Notre Dame returns it. The Wolverines up and hitting it right placed there by Jacobs, right for 2 Fighting Irish defenders, but yet they're unable to hit it back over.
Yeah, Jacobs right there on the net, able to just put a hand out and tie this match 20-20 in the first set.
20 apiece, Michigan serving. The ball is up and just out the back.
Cochran.
Maybe a foot over and it would have been an ace. But now we are 21-20. The ball is up. Haynes back out there, but Jacobs sends it, and the Fighting Irish have to dig, but it goes out into the stands. I actually think someone got a little tap on the shoulder by that flying volleyball out there.
Maybe they did. Nevertheless, Jacobs ties this to 21 apiece. Her demonstration loved it. They could kill shots from that side of the court.
Ellie White serving for the Wolverines. It's returned, but blocked by Haynes at the front of the net. Spike by Jacobs is recovered. Wolverines hit it back over to the back of the courts. And
mistake there by Notre Dame, and unable to get the ball over the net, and that gives Michigan its first lead in a little bit. Timeout on the court. First and 25. So Michigan get 3, and Notre Dame get 4.
2 scoring run. Two-scoring run for the Wolverines. I mean, each of these timeouts is critical. I feel like they haven't been too far apart, but it's important to win this first set early.
Absolutely, it's important for momentum of the game. Saw early on after the timeout, Notre Dame came back inspired. Now Michigan seems pretty inspired after this timeout. Let's see what they could do in the final couple of minutes of this first set.
Looking at the stats over here, Notre Dame with 12 digs, Michigan 11. The Fighting Irish with an ace to the Wolverines have no aces on the board so far. And attack percentage is 30.3 for the Maize and Blue.
When you look at Michigan stats as well, demonstration of 5 kills, Jacobs with 4. They'll certainly be relying on those two to hopefully close out the set here in a matter of 15 seconds or so.
Players taking the court once again.
All right, back to serve now is White. Action right there, Haynes involved with the net. Here's a dig. Cochran sets up Jacobs nicely. Sliding attempt, no good from Notre Dame. And Michigan now takes a 2-point lead with 2 to go here in the first set.
It is going to be White serving once more. Let's see if they can find that pretty perfect placement yet again. Then we'd have match point. The ball is up and too far. So not having the match point now. It's 23-22. Notre Dame serving. Number 3, Maya Baker with the ball. It's up and over to Cochran. And a spike by Haynes. Gets hit off the hands of Baker. Point for Michigan.
Absolutely, Jenna Haynes once again in the middle of the court. That's what she likes with the kill shot. The Crisis Center now on their feet. This is match point here for Michigan. With Jacobs set the serve. It's a timeout call.
But before that, we have another timeout. As you can hear, the fans of the Maize and Blue getting pretty loud for their team. It is time to pump it up here in Chrysler.
Yeah, just like on Friday night, see a game of runs. Michigan now on a 3-1 run, trying to close out this first set here in Ann Arbor. Crowd on their feet. Looks like Jacobs is set to serve. Let's see if she still serves when we return from this timeout.
We talked a little bit before about Michigan establishing their identity as a team, especially heading into conference play with their next game. What do you think the Michigan identity is looking like right now?
Absolutely. It looks like their identity so far is that they want to be attacking aggressive on the opposite side of the ball, set up Haynes in the center, and Jacobs, the demonstration, they like to hit from the side. And also, the strategy defensively is to set back and hopefully to make adjustments, not allow some of these kill shots or these attempts from Notre Dame to fall in the center of the court. And also Michigan as well, ahead of conference play, might need to work improving, make sure that every serve, or at least most of their serves, go over the net. So you don't have opponents taking around someone like Notre Dame has done so far in this first set.
Players taking the court once again. Gordon for the Wolverines. We haven't seen her out too much. She's only played in 4 matches so far this season, and now making it her 5th.
All right, here's Jacobs set to serve. Match point. And it hits the net. Notre Dame will possess it, down by 2.
It is going to be Gayertree serving. Or, no, she's subbing off, actually. A little change of players there. Now, number 2, Maisie Alexander for Notre Dame. Serving to the Wolverines. It's returned by Haynes. Tapped right in the middle there. Oh, but managed to be returned by the Fighting Irish, although it looked like they had it for a second. But Gordon sends the set-winning point over as we hear hail to the Vectors here in Chrysler. 25-23. Michigan takes the first set in stride.
Absolutely, see there. Then the set, Michigan tried to set Haynes up to kill. Crowd thought she got it. She did, and Notre Dame was able to respond. But Gordon coming in from the right side of the court, able to down the ball and give Michigan an impressive 25-23 victory in the first set. We look back to Monday night, Michigan won 25-22 in their first sets before eventually sweeping in 3 at South Bend. So let's see if Michigan can repeat their success here today.
Michigan with 17 kills on the board to the Fighting Irish's 7.
Yes, Michigan 17 kills to the Irish's 7, 16-7 advantage in assists. However, Notre Dame did outdig them 13-12, so that's certainly something Michigan, clear communication, making sure that they're able to respond to some of these attacks from Notre Dame. But once they figure that out and are able to have higher margins in the amount of digs that they have versus Notre Dame, looks like Michigan set up well to hopefully get another sweep here today.
I believe Haynes might have gotten a kill over there on that last point. Let me take a look at the stats, make sure I'm right on that. Yes, Haynes having 3 kills here already in this game. She got 3 aces against Central Michigan earlier this preseason, and every game this season she has recorded at least 2 kills and 1 block in every single match. And well, she has already 3 kills on the board for her today and 1 block, so that streak has continued for the sophomore.
Absolutely, and Allison Jacobs as well, 5 kills here early on. You see why she's the defending Big Ten Player of the Week from the week of September 9th, and also why she is a Big Team first team all last year and preseason all big, certainly contributing and able to get the Wolverines out of that early hole that they put themselves in. Look at Demonstration as well, the sophomore out of Wisconsin as well with 5 kills early on. Demonstration Jacobs, that duo certainly propelling the Wolverines to a match 1 victory.
Any players for Notre Dame that are standing out to you right now that the Wolverines are probably talking about slowing down in this second set?
Absolutely. We'll look at Gertie. She's been playing well so far, and also Chi-Chi Najani as well for Notre Dame has been playing well. Notre Dame was able to get more digs than Michigan was in the first match or in the first set, so certainly it's something Michigan wants to talk about and make sure they clear that up as the teams now switch sides. We are about to start set number 2, Michigan up 1-0.
Right now, Maya Evans is leading the arena in digs right now with 4, although I guess tied with Allison Jacobs for the Wolverines. Ella Demetrician leading in points. And it is going to be the Wolverines serving. You can feel the tension in the air, knowing that with just a quick turnaround, they've got to get ready to win this second set. Both teams, I think, hoping for more runs than there were in the first set.
Absolutely.
Morgan Burke serving for the Wolverines. A dig from the Fighting Irish. Nyambio hits it down, and the Fighting Irish can't return it. Michigan leads by 1.
Absolutely, you see the confusion there for Notre Dame, unsure who to return. Michigan leads 1-0 as Burke will get another serve. right here. Ball's in play. Set up nicely for Jacobs. Blocked right there. And Notre Dame will tie it at 1. As you see, Morgan Gertie is playing very well so far for Notre Dame. He's able to get the block on Jacobs.
Lucy Trump, the outside hitter, serving. Touches the net, but it makes it over. Wolverines with a spike from, I believe, Ella Demetrician.
Was Demetrician again, gets to her side, able to get the spike over, and she will now step back to serve.
Demetrician now on the serve. The ball is up, makes it over. It's set up and spiked by the Fighting Irish, but returned by the Wolverines now. Keeping it towards that center, but a little too tight and doesn't make it over the net. Michigan now up 3-1.
See Gertie early with the block on the Jacobs shot in this set, unable to get the ball over the net here. And Demetrician will serve again. Ball is in play. Tips fell just out, and Notre Dame will get the point. Now set to serve for Notre Dame is Sydney Helmers.
New to this Indiana squad here, coming from Texas. Spike by Nyambio is returned from a nice dig from number 8, Maya Evans. Again, we can see why she's leading in digs right now.
Absolutely. Michigan able to get the point as the shot fell outside of the end line. Now we see Cochran serving.
Out the back, Demetrician trying to return, but ball flies too far out. Point for the Fighting Irish.
Once again, Morgan Gertie able to use the height advantage in order to get a point. Morgan Gertie, 6'5", the sophomore out of Angola, Indiana. You certainly see the height advantage, the size advantage he has, and able to get points early for Notre Dame. How about that shot? Kill for number 5 for the Maize and Blue, that being Lydia Johnson. All right, Ellie White now set to serve. She does. Tip responded by Michigan. There's a save. Cochran gets it over the net. Clash of the line, and that one goes out. And it will be a point for the Fighting Irish. Going back now to serve is Maya Baker. The freshman from California is set to serve.
The ball is up and over, just out the back. Point for Michigan. They now lead by 2.
Cochran wisely chooses not to send to get that one as it was headed out of bounds. Here's Jacobs now. Serve. And that's an ace.
A dig attempt, though, by Sydney Helmers, the junior.
Allison Jacobs continuing to lead this team. The ace right there. She get another opportunity. Can she repeat on this serve?
Perhaps that dig was the result of a communication error from the Fighting Irish, but hopefully they can, save that for this set. I'm sure they're meeting right now. I can see them talking.
Successful there, Notre Dame able to get the point.
Now serving is Morgan Gaytree again. At 6'5", I believe she's one of the tallest people on the court today, if not the tallest.
Absolutely.
But the Wolverines get another point off of that. And Jenna Haynes, the sophomore, stepping up once again for the Wolverines. Hoping to extend their lead. The ball is up. It's over. It's received by Helmers. At the net, a spike from Gordon. And now some slower play. A spike blocked. Oh, and Haynes dives out of bounds for it. Demetrician stepping over her, trying to save the ball from going too far, but it is too late, and the Fighting Irish rack up another point. Their 6th of this set.
See the net play there for Notre Dame, trying to make their presence known there, able to outmaneuver Michigan there. Serve does not get over the net there for Notre Dame. Will be a point for the Wolverines. And they will substitute. Burke now back in the game for the Maize and Blue. And she will serve.
Blocked by Nyambio and Johnson at the net.
To block the point goes to Notre Dame. Set to serve. It is Lucy Trump.
Oh, blocked but unsuccessful. Lucy Trump serves.
Trump with the ace. And it'll be a 1-point lead for Michigan, similar to the first set. Took an early lead. Now only leading by 1. We'll see how Michigan responds here.
Yes, exactly. They want to be keeping this buffer and not have to go through the back and forth they fought through last set.
Right there you see Trump's attempt on the serve. Goes out, and Demetrician now 2-point lead for the serve.
Is the band playing a womp 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 theme?
I believe they might be.
With each serving error? Wow. It's up and blocked. I think Nyambio with the block.
Yes.
Michigan taking an 11-8 lead.
Block there. Jacobs and Nyambio in the action. Here's Demetrician on the serve.
The ball is up, blocked once again by Nyambio.
Nyambio back-to-back block.
I think that was a really important point.
Absolutely.
In this matchup.
Michigan leading now 12-8. Nyambio back-to-back blocks, already leading the team in blocks coming into this. Had a strong weekend last week in their 1-1 home-and-home series with Virginia. You certainly see why Nyambio is a player, the senior out of Troy, Michigan, and Wolverines will rely on as we enter Big Ten play coming up here this week.
Now, a 4-point lead is really important here. They do not want the Fighting Irish to come back and, start to even close that gap. We know what happened last set, and the Wolverines are going to really try and take this momentum through to a decisive win here, going for, again, of course, that 3-set sweep as they got last Friday. I want to talk a little bit about the full roster here on Michigan. Aaron Virtue, head coach, says that one of the strengths of this Michigan program is the depth that they have. They want to be able to tap into that depth and be able to explore it more throughout the season. We've definitely had our key names that we've been mentioning tonight. Nyambio, Burke, Demetrician, Haynes, Cochran, and the list goes on. But we'll see if they get a sizable lead, we can see some of those new faces stepping in once again.
Yeah, absolutely. Amalia Simmons, an outside hitter. Of course, you're sitting behind Allison Jacobs and Elle Demetrician. It's hard to get play time, but she's certainly redshirt junior to see if she can get play time. But also, how about the freshman, Lady Stanton Parker, as well, for an outside hitter? Let's see if Michigan's able to build a lead and get her into the game as well. A very talented bench, certainly, for the Wolverines. Speaking of outside hitters, Elle Demetrician is one, but she will serve here instead. Here's Demetrician now, bringing it up court. Notre Dame now able to reclaim. It's Cochran. Set up nice for Jacobs. Tipped back at the line. And that shot goes straight to the sideline. It will be a point for Michigan. 13-8 lead now. The Demetricians at the serve again.
Demetrician with the serve. The ball is up. Over, hitting to the side. Not sure if that's what Notre Dame intended, but they make it back over. Return it. And a nice shot to the back of the court there.
Again, Demetrician now from the inside rather than the side, able to right hand straight through the middle, unable to return, and she will serve for the third straight possession. And this time, falls short of the line. It'll be 14-9.
Point for Notre Dame. Now serving is number 14, Sydney Helmers. The ball is up and out the back. Unfortunate serving error for the Fighting Irish.
Back-to-back serving errors gave each opponent a point, and it'll remain a 6-point advantage for the Maize and Blue.
Sydney Helmers with 5 aces on the season, though.
Here's Cochran with the serve.
So more than a formidable server. It's back to the Wolverines, tapping it lightly over. Notre Dame, I think it stayed on their side, intended it to go over, and just too many hits. And now up 16-9 is the Wolverines. A timeout called?
Yep, some miscommunication there by Notre Dame now gives the advantage to Michigan 16-9.
What do you
sizable advantage to say for Michigan. They did win the third set on Friday night by 8 points, and now they lead by 7. We'll see if they could potentially surpass that lead.
U of M's offense is second in the Big Ten in kills per set, with an average of 14.63 kills per set. Right now, they're at 21. I believe that's across the 2 sets so far. And honestly, I've seen some pretty nice placed kills there from the Wolverines, but I think they might be struggling again with this really close to the net blocks from Notre Dame. There have been a few where there's miscommunication errors on both sides of the court, so we'll see if they can even those out as we round out the second set.
Absolutely. We see Michigan improve their aggression on the offense and the defense side of the ball. Certainly, it's able to benefit them against Notre Dame. Some miscommunication errors. They won't be able to rely on that when number 1 Nebraska, they face them later this week. They come to town. That's certainly not something you can expect from a team like that to make too many of these mistakes. We'll see Michigan also clean up the serving as well, as Cochran now has the opportunity up by 7 to serve.
Cochran with the serve. A dig from Notre Dame. Just showing how well placed that serve was. Right to the side of the attack line there. Point for Michigan, 17-9.
Right there, Allison Jacobs once again. Point. It's Cochran serve. Aggressive attack here. Cochran able to save an assist. Now Jacobs gets it to the Notre Dame side. They reset.
Saved by number 8, Maya Evans. But a dig from Cochran, unsuccessful. Now Notre Dame with double digits on the board. And it will be number 31, Anna Bjork, serving. Ball is up and over. Returned by Demetrician. Oh, but a block on Demetrician's hit there.
From Gertie using every bit that 6'5" frame to get that block. Diving attempt from Burke, unsuccessful. Notre Dame now finds himself trailing only by 5.
(17-12) when it was 17-10 before, 17-9. Not what the Wolverines want to see. Let's see if they can get it back. Haynes is close, and it goes off the hands of Bjork for a Wolverines point, ending that short run from Notre Dame.
2-0 run by Notre Dame, stopped by number 2, Allison Jacobs, with the kill. And now Ellie White is set to serve. On play now. Nice rejection there for Michigan. Set, Cochran keeps it in play. Gordon's shot. Block. Really aggressive here on the front of the net. Michigan resets for Jacobs. That one falls just over to the sideline, and it will be a point for Michigan. Now lead back up to 7 with Ellie White set to serve once again.
You could hear the crowd all go, ooh, as very high ball there, but it was saved by the Wolverines.
Right here, the serve unsuccessful. Notre Dame will get the point, meaning Maya Baker is set to serve for the Fighting Irish. Nice save there by Gordon. See right there the aggression early on up by the net, unable to be saved there by Michigan. Ellie White almost is able to get a dig, but it'll be a point, and this lead is back down to 5.
Saw a lot of digs there from Chichi Nyanji, trying to save it for Notre Dame, and it was successful. Let's see if they can do it again. The ball now hit back from the Wolverines, returned to the Fighting Irish. Nyanji hits, blocked. Haynes spikes it over to number 8, Maya Evans. It's returned to the Fighting Irish, but they make it back over. 19-15. Fighting Irish crawling back into this game, and a timeout called at this critical point.
Timeout there. You see Devin Christian unable to get the dig. Air was put on the ground. And now all of a sudden a 7-point lead for Michigan is now a 4-point lead as they try to close out Notre Dame in this second set.
The Fighting Irish are playing Syracuse at home on the 26th, then Boston College at home on the 28th. On the other hand, the Wolverines, their upcoming schedule is 2 road games at Nebraska on the 24th and at Michigan State. Big rivalry game there on the 27th. So 2 different looks after this home and home series. Let's see if, the Wolverines can get a win at home before they go on the road. I think that's very important for, morale, and then also just, again, establishing that identity before this Nebraska game. Cleo, your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. Michigan does need to establish that identity before going to face someone Nebraska and that great team. But also after Nebraska, Michigan State, which is a rivalry game, means a lot to these players as well. So early on, they're going to face tests not only on the actual team quality front, but also on the emotional front as well. Michigan State being a rivalry game, how important it is in the state of Michigan. Now you see Michigan, as the timeout sets in, up by 4. They have Haynes, Demtrish, and Jacobs on the floor, as well as Gordon, Cochran, and looks like Burke as well. Or White, excuse me, Ellie White. All right, Notre Dame same to serve, trailing only by 4. Tip right there is good for the Wolverines. Once again, who else but Allison Jacobs. Jacobs now set to serve. This time falls short, but you would certainly expect Allison Jacobs to be in contention yet again for Big Ten Player of the Week with the outstanding game she's having so far.
It's going to be back to, it's going to be number 2, Maisie Alexander, serving for the Fighting Irish. Face we haven't seen on the court so much this game. Makes it over. Attempt by the Wolverines, but it's hit out of bounds, although Maisie Alexander did chase that. I think she realized at the last minute that it was going to go out. And now she will be serving again for Notre Dame, hoping to get their 18th point of this game and close the lead to 2. It's over to Jacobs. Set up. Haynes with a quick tap makes it back over the net. And now the Fighting Irish do succeed. Now they're only down by 2. Alexander serving again.
Absolutely, Notre Dame's cut the lead to 2. Number 2 here, Maisie Alexander will serve. Ball is in play. Haynes doesn't want any of this deficit decrease. She only wants to increase it, and now it's a 3-point advantage for the Michigan Wolverines. Straight through the middle, Haynes is the area she likes to hit from. And now she'll go past the inline to serve. Up by 3.
Back to the Fighting Irish. Blocked.
Blocked that tandem once again. Niambo demonstration. Everybody's on the line. And now Michigan back up to 4 with 3 points to take set number 2, Chrysler Arena. Now you see Haynes with the serve. Tips it over. Once again, the blocking duo. This time, Niambo and Gordon able to give Michigan the 5-point advantage. 2 points left to take set number 2. Haynes once again will serve. We'll see if Michigan can close Notre Dame out, or will they continue to let Notre Dame sneak back into the second set.
Haynes only with 2 career serving errors. You can tell why Michigan trusts her with the ball right now.
Absolutely.
It's up. Doesn't add to that tally over there. But the Fighting Irish do manage to get it just close to the net, and Gordon is unable to save it for the Wolverines. Now it's going to be number 8, Maya Evans, serving. The ball is up, over to Cochran, who sets it up for Jacobs. Back to the Wolverines from the Fighting Irish, hitting it again right out that outside. Demetrician hitting it out of bounds, and now only leading by 3.
Absolutely, Notre Dame continuing the claw. Come back, the Fighting Irish living up to their name. Let's see if they can reduce this deficit back to 2. As Evans serves. The shot blocked by Michigan. Notre Dame scrambling, just able to get over the net. Here's the tip by Niambo, responded by Notre Dame. Ball falling back. Here's Gordon with the shot. And Michigan is 1 point away from taking set number 2 with the crowd now on its feet for a match point. And it'll be Burke to serve for set number 2.
All of Chrysler getting on their feet, ready to watch Morgan Burke serving. The Fighting Irish get it back over. A dig by Cochran. And the Fighting Irish managed to block it at the front line. I think a lot of credit to Nanji for that block. But she takes off, and we're going to see the very familiar, well, it was going to be Lucy Trump serving, and now it's a timeout, which is also familiar in this game.
Absolutely. Notre Dame continues to fight back in this match. Now they need to get 4 points without Michigan getting 1. Let's see if they are able to claw back in this set. Certainly characteristic of this first matchup on Friday night in South Bend. The game of runs, Michigan's gone runs, Notre Dame's gone runs. Now let's see Michigan to get one more point, to get one step closer to hopefully a 3-set sweep of the Fighting Irish.
There were 7 ties and only 2 lead changes in the first set today. If I'm recalling this set correctly, I don't think there've been as many.
No, this set is
Michigan has
decidedly an advantage of Michigan, but Notre Dame certainly has been sticking around. We'll see if they can make things interesting here.
They've been closing how much they've been trailing by. Although Michigan got a lead early, Notre Dame has been keeping it close. Let's see if they can just finishing out, but they do need to go on a 4-score streak to win here. I think that's more than they've had all set. So we will see. What do you think they're talking about right now?
They either continue one hope on unforced errors from Michigan and continue to attack that center of the court. When, at least in this set, they have had advantage when they had bodies in the court and getting Michigan scrambling. We'll see if Notre Dame can repeat some of that success here in the final moments of this second set. But it's going to be hard to do so. Sabrina now on their feet, hoping that the Wolverines can make one more play to close out set number 2.
Lucy Trump with the ball, looking around to see all of Chrysler Arena on their feet here, hoping to see a Michigan victory, but Trump going for the ace. Match point of this critical second set. Fighting Irish, of course, fighting to make sure that they don't get swept 3 sets as they did on Friday. Love to see such a crowd for a volleyball game here on this Sunday. Trump serves it over. Cochran hits it far. Oh, saved by a wonderful dig from number 2, Jacobs. But, the Wolverines not able to get it back over. I'm sure they're feeling disappointed after such a wonderful run attack there by Cochran, but good to know that you have players willing to fight for that ball.
So here's Trump on the serve, trying to repeat the success again. Here's the kill by Niambo, and Michigan takes the second set, 45-22. After taking the first set, 45-23, and Michigan one set away from another sweep of the Fighting Irish in this home series. Both teams now head to the locker room for the break. Michigan certainly feels good about themselves. Goes on a run at the end of that set and now leads 2-0 over Notre Dame.
We want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. We'll have more coverage for you after a short timeout. But for now, I'm Sabrina Mannion.
I'm Cleo.
And we will see you in a moment.
So the MCAT's basically an exam.
All right, welcome back to Chrysler Arena as we are getting ready to start set number 3 with the Michigan Wolverines leading 2-0 against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And certainly, Michigan won the first set by 2, the second set by 3. Let's see if they can repeat the performance they had on Friday night and win this hopefully by more than 2 or 3 in an effort to sweep the Fighting Irish for this 2025 volleyball season. As you see, Michigan taking the court now, led by Lydia Johnson, Morgan Burke, Sabrina Niambio, Jenna Haynes, Allison Jacobs, and of course, Ella Demetric. Michigan, again, their final game before conference play starts this week, and they will travel to take on number 1 ranked Nebraska. So certainly, they need all the practice and game time and acclimation for the team that they can get. And we are now getting set to start set number 3. And once again, it is Lucy Trump set to serve for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Here's Trump's serve. Shot there by Niambo, responded from Michigan, and the point will go to the Wolverines. Demetrician now set to serve. The sophomore. Serve is up. Turn by Notre Dame. Michigan sets. Jacobs from the side, able to get the kill. And a 2-0 lead, number 2. Demetrician set the serve yet again. Here's Demetrician. This is serve. Tip from Notre Dame. Michigan responds. Jacobs puts it over the net. Coming in. Blocked by Michigan. Sets it up. Demetrician tips it in. Demetrician sets it nicely. Jacobs. Shot goes over the head of Niambio. And Jacobs puts it over the net. Nice long rally from these two teams. Ball is still in play right here. And Jacobs shot another dig by Notre Dame. One-handed save there by Burke. I think this is the longest rally so far we've had this afternoon. And it finally ends out of bounds, and it'll be a point. Well, it'll still be a point for the Fighting Irish. That's probably the longest rally we've seen here this afternoon. Let's see if Notre Dame will continue to show fight here as we enter now to the meat of this third set.
Number 14, Sydney Helmers with the serve. And Jacobs with a kill for the Wolverines. Number 2, Jacobs is such a strong and central player to the Michigan Wolverines. She just added another career kill to her 789. Am I reading that right? 789 career kills before this game.
That's pretty good. That's a nice serve there from Cochran. And this ball, miscommunication there from Notre Dame, and Michigan on an early 4-1 run in this set. Cochran set the serve.
This ball is up and to the back. Now going for the spike. That's blocked by Demetrician and Haynes.
You see right there, that duo right there of Haynes. I believe Johnson was there with the block. And here's Cochran now to serve.
Yes, Johnson. Thank you for correcting me on there. Fighting Irish with a kill attempt too far out the back corner, and now Michigan leads 6-1. This is a very stark contrast to the back and forth that we saw in the first set, but it is all too familiar for Michigan to lead, and the Wolverines, the Fighting Irish, have been clawing those gaps back. So,
absolutely. See Michigan huddling now, probably saying that very same message. Let's keep this lead, and hopefully, well, now we have a challenge from Notre Dame. That's why we stopped play unwilling the block, and we'll see if that affects the score at all. But Michigan so far seeing very aggressive right now, early to start the game, and Notre Dame sees now challenging this block. We'll see how that challenge ends up. But nevertheless, Michigan certainly got to feel very good, promising start to this set. And let's see if they can continue the momentum, not only beyond this match, but let's see if they can take some takeaways from here into their match at Nebraska coming up very soon.
As my coach in high school used to say, job's not done, game's not over till it's over. You want to feel that excitement, but you don't want to let it, distract you from finishing out the set. And that's what I try to tell my intramural volleyball team. Although in our case, we were down, I think, maybe by 15 points, so it was pretty much over.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not for Notre Dame here.
Absolutely not. Maddie Cochran certainly hopes this will end pretty soon, and she'll try to do that here on her serve. Right there, Allison Jacobs with the block once again. Right there, aggressive action on the net gives a 7-1 advantage for the Wolverines. They are completely shutting down this Notre Dame offense so far. Let's see if they continue that throughout the remainder of this set. Here's Cochran to get another serve. This time just on the line, it'll be a point for the Fighting Irish.
Now they're down by 5. And number 31, Bjork, serving. The middle blocker sophomore hits it over, and the Wolverines unable to return. So now Bjork is going to serve again.
See Michigan once again, big lead. Notre Dame trying to fight their way back into this one. See how Michigan responds. Certainly plays like that will not help the Fighting Irish. The ball fails to get over the net. It'll be a point for Michigan with serve coming up now from Ellie White.
It's over to the Fighting Irish, who spike it, and it is just inside the line. Now they trail 8-4, or 4-8, but they're on serve, and Maya Baker, the freshman from San Jose, California, is going to attempt to start this point off strong for the Fighting Irish. The freshman hits it right to the back corner, but Cochran is there.
And tip from Gordon.
Michigan taking 9-4 lead. I want to shout out Allison Jacobs real quick, who is on the serve now for the Wolverines. Such a strong player. She came from UCLA, joined this Michigan squad in 2022, and is such a backbone to the offense right now. But an unfortunate error and for Jacobs, and it is now on serve for Notre Dame.
Absolutely, and you see right here, 6'5" Morgan Gertie with the serve. Here's Haynes, the powerful attempt, responded by the Fighting Irish. Set up here, Jacobs, power straight through the middle. That's a kill added to her career tally, as Michigan now leads 10-5.
Head coach Aaron Virtue said in an interview that the younger players on this Wolverines team can really look up to key pieces, and 6th years, 5th years, 7th years, and I'm sure Allison Jacobs is one of the players she was referring to.
Absolutely, and right there you see kill from Notre Dame reduces this to a 4-point advantage. Allison Jacobs, leader, not just on the court, being a preseason All Big Ten this year, Big Ten All First Team last year, but also a few years ago had to make a tough decision on his surgery, supported by this Michigan staff, and now you see her fully blossom. So certainly Allison Jacobs, an inspiration to all. And right here, you see a little fighting there at the net, and Notre Dame is able to get the point. And now, once trailing by 6, have cut that deficit in half, only trail by 3, with the serve coming up here.
Just a few too many hits on the Wolverine side there, and Notre Dame were able to capitalize, see if they can do it again. The Wolverines return, and a kill again on the board.
And guess who? Allison Jacobs.
Allison Jacobs now looking to serve, most likely. Or, no, it's going to be number 7, Morgan Burke, but Jacobs is still on the court. Key piece of the Michigan offense today, and always. Burke serves. The Fighting Irish return just inside the line. Perfect placement there from Nianji, the freshman. And she used every inch of her 6'4" frame to spike it right past Niambio.
Absolutely, the freshman, certainly a player to look forward to for future Notre Dame games. The freshman out of Dallas, Texas, right there with the kill.
Fighting Irish.
Able to get the point right there. 12-8 advantage here for Michigan. And she will serve now after getting the point. Demonstration is able to get the point.
Lucy Trump with a dig attempt there for the Fighting Irish, and we have a timeout. Now, if you want more coverage of Michigan athletics, and especially this Michigan volleyball team, you can head over to mgoblue.com or the Michigan YouTube. They just did a series called Michigan Made, and the volleyball team was featured. You get to see in-depth about the players, practices, games, and it was a really exciting watch.
Absolutely, I watched some of the videos earlier to learn more about not only the backgrounds of the players, also the coaches, hearing about Coach Erin Virtue's experience with the Olympic team, experience in Michigan that she had before she came back to be the head coach of the volleyball team. Certainly is inspiring, not just for volleyball, but all the sports in Michigan. Michigan false leaders in the best for a reason. All of our athletic programs are incredibly successful. Send people off to professional leagues, Olympics, all kinds of things. Very great. So I would definitely check out that YouTube page.
Yes, Cleo, I think you make a very good point, and I want to learn more in depth about how this volleyball team has managed throughout this season. I know they had some changes. They're coming off of a key player graduating and another transferred out. And they added 2 new coaches to their squad this year. And clearly those coaches are, paying off. I can see that they're very involved in the team and on the sideline. But for any team, adding new people on beginning of the season, it's hard to find that chemistry. But I think the Wolverines, especially their offense, has found that chemistry so far this season. They're just continuing to, evaluate and define that identity on the court.
Absolutely, and Coach Erin Virtue, her first year, disappointing 7-22 record. The last year, 18-12. They've already halved the wins total from last year, this year, 10 games in. So certainly, Michigan looks propelled to really contend for the Big Ten this year against the likes of Nebraska and some of those other powers traditionally in the Big Ten.
It's going to be Demetrician serving again. The ball is up. It's over to the Fighting Irish. And set up for a successful hit attempt from I believe that was number 14, Sydney Helmers, who will now be serving.
Yep, very rare when Lydia Johnson and Sabrina Niambio are not able to get a block.
The Wolverines lead 13-9. Notre Dame with the serve. A dig by Burke. It's back to the Fighting Irish. Blocked. And Helmers would have had to run into, I think, the press section in order to get that one.
Absolutely, just said very rare for Nyambo and Johnston not to get a block, and they got a block there to give Michigan a 5-point advantage. Cochran now set to serve. Cochran serve. Return by the Fighting Irish. Fighting at the net, and Notre Dame's able to get the point. Jenna Haynes unable to fully get her hands on that ball and knock it down. And it'll be a 4-point deficit yet again for Notre Dame with them set to serve. Here is Anna Bjork, set to serve. Nice setup, Jacobs. She likes that side, able to kill straight through the middle. Once Allison Jacobs gets her hand on a ball, it's very hard to stop this Wolverines offense.
Michigan with a 5-point lead here, and I think it's interesting looking back to their game on Friday. We saw they won by a 3-point advantage in the first set, 3 points in the second, and then 8 in the third. Right now they're leading by 5, so a similar pattern to Friday. I'm sure the Fighting Irish might be feeling some deja vu and trying to combat it.
Absolutely, combat it. They did on their last play, able to get the kill through the middle, and now only trailing by 4, and with Maya Baker set to serve.
Ball is up, hit by Cochran. Set up, Nyambio. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Gordon with the attempt, but it is blocked by the Fighting Irish. Point for Notre Dame with 12 on the board, going for their 13th. They have 5 aces so far in this challenge today. Didn't get another one there. It is returned. And a kill from Haynes.
Jenna Haynes yet again finds a spot in the middle of the floor and is able to put that straight through the defense of the Fighting Irish. That's very hard to combat if you are a Notre Dame player or any player in the country.
We'll see that test as Michigan goes on the road for the next 2 games, starting out conference play this month. An attempt from the Fighting Irish is just too far out. Point Michigan. They lead 17-12. Jacobs serving once again.
See there the dig unsuccessful from demonstration who fell back at Notre Dame. Now only trails by 4 with Gertzi set to serve. Instead, she goes to her teammate who will serve instead.
It's up on the line. A set up. Number 9 Demetrician hitting it back over. Ooh, a dig from Jacobs. Save for the Wolverines. Demetrician hits it again, but it is blocked by wonderful defender Nyanji, number 19 for the Fighting Irish. Wolverines still lead by 5, but I wouldn't say that the score really reflects how hard these matchups have been.
Absolutely, Notre Dame has been staying in this one throughout the entire match. Certainly giving Michigan things to work on ahead of Big Ten play. And right on cue, Notre Dame able to get the point. Shot off right there. And only trail by 4 now. Maya Evans with the serve. They set it up. Demetrician kind of swats it away and is able to get the kill and a 5-point advantage for Michigan.
Yes, Demetrician adding now 39 kills for Michigan to Notre Dame's 28.
Look at that shot by Demetrician, almost a no-looker sidearm kill for the talented sophomore.
And talented indeed. We've seen so much from her this matchup alone. But point Notre Dame. I can see some of the Notre Dame players enjoying what looks like a ring around the rosy type practice. Probably having some fun out here. It's exciting that so early in the season they've been able to have so many great games.
Absolutely. Right there, an error on the serve gives Michigan the 5-point lead, 20-15, 5 more points, and they'll get a victory for the second victory in 3 days, hopefully a second sweep over Notre Dame. Here's the serve. Demonstration just too strong outside. It'll be a 4-point deficit once again for the Fighting Irish.
Sydney Helmers now serving, the junior, for the Fighting Irish. It's up, hits the net, but it makes it over. And now Nyambio with a nice spike, but it's returned. Oh, a spike coming back from Demetrician. That was some incredible play and coordination. To me, it looked like Nyambio was going to spike that, but then Demetrician came from behind and got a really nice point there for the Wolverines, 21-16.
Nice point in, a nice reaction from the crowd as Cochran serves this. We're in the middle, and that return will be out. And Michigan start the field only 3 points away now from a 3-0 victory versus the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. See if they can hold on and maintain the same level of intensity.
It's going to be a timeout. What are some highlights from this game? I'm still thinking about that play from 2 points ago. I don't even know if Nyambio actually did know it, but Demetrician was right there on the ball, clearly eyes up. And I think that's been so important. We saw the team struggling a little bit with communication errors beforehand, and now it seems to definitely be evened out.
Absolutely. We see a lot of highlight plays as we pause for a challenge from Notre Dame, from Demetrician, from Haynes, and certainly from Jacobs. Certainly 3 players who stood out so far in action, and certainly 3 players that Michigan will be relying on as we enter Big Ten Conference play throughout the remainder of the season.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and I want to shout out Cochran's dig before, although it didn't end up being a point for the Wolverines. If you're listening and you were not able to see in person, Cochran ran pretty much all the way out of the blue paint to save it for the Wolverines.
Absolutely. An unsuccessful challenge from the Fighting Irish will keep the score at 22-16. Here's Cochran, speaking of her, with the serve, trying to close out Notre Dame.
Tipped just over. Cochran digs. It's up. Oh, blocked by Haynes in the front. Over Haynes, now Cochran with it. Sets up for Jacobs to tip it over. A dig from the Fighting Irish. Return to the Wolverines. Now Demetrician with a spike. Blocked again by the Fighting Irish. One more hit and too much for the Wolverines. Notre Dame take that one.
Absolutely. Notre Dame living up to her name, fighting late in this third set, certainly not going away, and challenging Michigan to make them earn every one of these last 3 points.
Bjork now for Notre Dame on the serve. Up to Demetrician.
Here's Haynes, straight through the middle. Michigan now 2 points away from the sweep of the Fighting Irish. See Gordon checks into the game, as well as Ellie White, who will serve. Timeout on the court as Michigan is on the verge of clinching and a 10-1 start to the season ahead of conference play, which is pretty good.
Very, very exciting here for the Wolverines. And also, I think, not to, put anything out there, the Fighting Irish are definitely still fighting and definitely still in it. I do think the score does not reflect how close this matchup has been, particularly this third set. The Fighting Irish either going to walk away 4-4, or 3-5, but either way, they have exciting games ahead of them as well.
Absolutely. And again, can't stress enough, look at the score 3-0. There are still plenty, as of any team, for Michigan to improve on, especially when they're going to travel out to Lincoln and face the #1 team in the country, Nebraska, and all the firepower that they have. Certainly things to improve on. But as we look now for the schedule, a few seconds left, we do have a timeout. Minnesota at home, coming up in early October, then Indiana and Iowa, Nebraska, and then a game at Ohio State, another rivalry game, certainly, and then another home matchup against Ohio State in November to close out the season at home with matches against UCLA and USC.
Yes, a tough schedule, a lot of road games. But I'm confident, I'm sure the Wolverines are confident in being able to make it through that schedule.
Absolutely. And here's Ellie White with the serve. Ball's in play. Tipped at the line. Michigan will reset. Here's Jacobs' shot. Notre Dame with a response in the block by the duo Gordon and Haynes. And Chrysler Arena on their feet. They certainly start to feel it as Michigan is 1 point away from securing the third set and this match against the Fighting Irish. Crowd clapping as White serves. This one will be just out as Notre Dame will gain possession, trailing by 6 now. Certainly hoping for a miracle in order to come back and take the third set against Michigan. So confusion there on the substitution for Notre Dame. And they will now send Maya Baker out to serve. Crowd starting to make some noise.
It's up over to the Fighting Irish. Saved by Demetrician, but there's a whistle. Point Notre Dame.
Notre Dame now only trailing by 5. We'll see if they can make things interesting. As Maya Baker once again set the serve. Crowd trying to make their presence known.
But the freshman unfazed serves over the net. Haynes, spike attempt blocked. Fighting Irish definitely feeling impassioned now. And we have another timeout.
Timeout as you see Notre Dame went on a 3-0 run there. Certainly not going away easy. Michigan's going to have to earn this last point.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they had 2 lead changes, 7 ties in the first set between these two teams, and then no lead changes in the second set. So it's clear that the Wolverines have been dominating this second and third set, but the Fighting Irish are not out of it.
Yeah, absolutely not. Certainly, as we look at the final minute or so of this timeout, Michigan is looking to get 1 extra point in order to close out the Fighting Irish. But certainly, Michigan, as they head into the Big Ten Conference play, certainly does need to work on, not playing with your food, as some would say, not letting some of these opponents maintain in the game, and once you get that lead, maintaining it and making sure you continue to dominate the opponents. So they do not have prolonged drives, prolonged sets in the case of this game. Certainly Michigan, you do have to feel confident in the performance of James, of Jacobs, and also of Demetrician, able to get some of the skills over the middle, added to the blocking abilities of Nyambo and Gordon. Certainly that's formidable against any team in the country, even great teams such as Nebraska, which will have to do upcoming this week on Wednesday night.
Players taking the court once more. A Chrysler Arena still on their feet, hoping to watch their team close it out, whether that'll be the Maize and Blue or the Fighting Irish. It is still up in the air. Fighting Irish now serving. A dig from Cochran. Set up for Haynes. But the Fighting Irish able to return.
There's another block there by this Notre Dame defense. Now on a 4-0 run with Baker set to serve again. Let's see how Michigan responds now. The crowd has been on the feet for several minutes. They're waiting for the moment to push this game to see if they get it here. Set it up. Demetrician shot. goes out, and that will do it. Michigan secures the sweep of Notre Dame. 3-0 tonight, 3-0 on Friday night, and now Michigan will head into conference play with a record of 10-1, with their only blemish coming at Virginia in a 2-3 set loss. Certainly an encouraging start to the season by the Wolverines, and we'll see how they navigate through the Big Ten.
Oh, absolutely. That was an exciting matchup, and the Fighting Irish can go back to South Bend knowing that they played a very hard-fought game and a closer game than their matchup against the Wolverines last Friday. Any last thoughts about this Michigan roster before we close out our broadcast today?
Absolutely. Michigan roster is very talented. They're able to win, obviously, all 3 sets tonight. Certainly, they do need to work on maintaining their leads and not some of the unforced errors that we saw earlier on the serves, as Notre Dame did play very well. The score is not really indicative of how tight this was. As you see now, we look at the score, 2-point advantage in the first set, 3-point advantage in the third set, and 4-point advantage in the third set. Michigan certainly outplayed Notre Dame throughout most of this match, and still tighter margins as far as the score. So definitely something that Michigan's have to improve as we enter the conference play. Nebraska, certainly some of the mistakes that Michigan made. Nebraska certainly is a team that could capitalize on them, and those sets could turn into victories for the Cornhuskers. So certainly something that Michigan does need to improve. But overall, very solid start to the season. In the third season now for Aaron Virtue, starting off with a 10-1 record, considering they were just 7-22 2 years ago, was certainly something that any Michigan fan, especially these players and these coaches, will take.
Oh, absolutely. And now with 2 road games ahead of them, the Wolverines will be back here in Chrysler versus Minnesota on October 1st. Hopefully we're able to call that game for you folks. Thank you for tuning in today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. For WCBN, I'm Sabrina Mannion.
I'm Cleo Washington.
Take care.